Hello, welcome back to the channel. It's Natalie. I am here with, I'm part of the design team, but I don't know really how to pronounce it. They're a German company and they have gorgeous, sweet little images and it's just adorable. So I will leave a link at the beginning I'll leave a link down below, but I'll let you know all the information right there. Now, this little, I'm not even going to pronounce what he's called because I don't want to kill it for all my German friends, but it's super gorgeous. So yeah, I will leave all the information down below. I am using my polychromo pencils and I'm using, now I don't know how to pronounce this one either. So, this is what you get on my channel. It's what it is. I don't even know how to pronounce, where to start. Biscay? Anyway, that one and walnut brown, as you can read above. I am putting my little piggy in a pile of mud because I just thought it was cute. Because piggies go in mud. Bunnies, not so much, but piggies go in mud. So I'm using the two colours just to give, the walnut brown is darker, just to give a little bit of depth to my mud puddles and a little bit of shading. Later on, we're going to come in with a bit of grass. I am using the Venetian red and with a little bit of the white to blend that out, but I will come back in and use the beige red just to help blend that out a little bit. I'm using really light strokes. Now, if you tend to be a little bit heavy-handed, like me, what I can suggest to you, and I will do it a couple of times, but I'm not too worried about it here, is move your hand up the pencil a little bit. You won't be able to get so much pressure behind it. And I do, as I said, I do that a couple of times. With him, I'm just using circular motions just to give a little bit more depth because my printer hasn't really printed out what it is. So I'd like to give a little tiny bit of depth to my images. Just make sure they're nice and rounded off. This, as you can see with the bunny, has a bit of depth to it. And the back of him, he's got some shadowing, but I just like a little bit more. So I'm just going back through just to make him stand out a little bit more. This is the beige red. I'm just using that to blend it into the lighter and coming back through with the white, which also blends it in and smooths it out. So I'm going to go back and forth until basically I'm happy. This is the walnut brown. I'm going to do his eye. I did smush a little bit, so we're just going to rub him off. This is earth green yellowish. Mud puddles do still have a little bit of grass in among them, so I thought it was just very fitting to have a bit of grass. I'm going to do a fair bit. Now, I actually don't chop too much off when I trim this down, so it worked in well. I'm also going to make sure that I was a little bit heavy-handed there. And you can see here I've got my hand further up the pencil, just try and make it a little bit of a lighter stroke. Yeah, so I'm going to trim this down. I forgot where I was going. Now, if you hear my computer go off, I suddenly started making these weird noises, just like a drop of water, so to speak. But anyway, if you hear that, I don't know what it is. If you have any idea, it's probably an update that's been done and I have no idea. This is Warm Grey 5. Again, I'm just giving him a little bit of definition around his little tushy and with his belly, where his feet hit his belly, because that's going to have a little bit of shadow to it. And all my images, as you can see, I've pretty much just left them. The lightest area is left untouched. So I'm using the image just to have just to color in and accentuate that dark, those shadows. I don't know, if I pause a little bit, I actually get sucked into what I'm coloring. I get sucked into what I'm coloring and I'm like going, yep, okay, yep, that was good. I like that. I am using a little bit of the beige red on his ear just to add a little tiny bit more pink. And he's really cute. And blend it out with the white. That's pretty much what I'm going to do. That's it. I'm going to do some couple other bits and pieces, but that's basically the card. This is from Paper Rose. It's called From Hogs and Kisses, and this is just a sentiment because it had just pig cross IKEA, which I thought was I like a good pun. I'm going to stamp that down in the VersaFine Tuxedo Black. I do have a little trick. I learned this from a friend of mine. When you've got a sentiment that is relatively fine, I don't put a lot of pressure on it because it just makes it all smushy and everything else. But what I do is I basically almost slam my Misty down. And I learned this from a friend of mine. And was told by another friend, just so you know, who does listen to my videos. Thank you. But I slam the lid down and I give it a tiny little bit of pressure, and that just gives it enough to make it have a nice crisp image and not too much pressure. The last thing I've done, so I've cut that down using Paper Rose stitched rectangles. And the last thing I'm going to do is just add a little bit of Stardust stickles, because you know I do like my Stardust. I have added it to the tail because all bunnies need a little bit of a sparkly tail, and Piggy has a little heart, as you can see, and I've just added a little bit of stickles to that. And I'm just going to finish off with a couple of drops just around the sentiment. So if you like what you see today, head over to the blog, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and leave me a comment. Do you like a good pun sentiment? So take care. I will talk to you very soon. Bye.